Okay, so it's fifth grade, and I'm friends with this boy named Alex. And he's a nice kid. He loves comic books, he loves video games, and we have a really nice friendship going. We talk to each other like every day. Except there's one problem. This kid would get mercilessly bullied every single day. You see, he had basically no friends aside from me, and he was also the shortest in our grade. So it made him a pretty easy target. And I saw this. These kids, they would threaten to hurt him if they got any closer to him. They would push him. They would insult him. And of course, typical education system. We told them about it, but they said, "Oh, don't do that again." Give him a slap on the wrist. Did nothing. Stopped for 2 days, then continued like normal. And I saw just how bad it got to him. Because I'd been to his house a few times, We'd go over there, play some video games, geek out about stuff. But there were times where I could see he literally would just stop and just start crying. Because obviously, we can all agree, I can agree, that bullying is a terrible thing. But the worst part is that wasn't the worst part. The worst part about the bullying that he had to go through every single day was that I, despite being a so-called good friend, I barely, if ever, stood up for him when he needed me. Because my reasoning was that, well, I don't want to be on these bullies' radar because I had some reasonable popularity. I wasn't the bottom of the social hierarchy. I had people that I, hung out with, that I sat with at lunch. And if I were to step in and defend my clearly suffering friend, then they may target their, bullying towards me. And I realize now just how cowardly that sounds, let alone actually doing. And I would always come back after the bullying was over. Then I'd come and pat him on the back, say, "I'm sorry, man, that sucks." But it was hollow. It doesn't matter if I afterwards, after the suffering, then I give my condolences. That's pitiful. So I'm telling you this not just for you to feel sad. I'm telling you this because I want you to realize you may be that friend, or you may have a friend that's like that to you. Because that person is not really your true friend. And it's funny that I'm saying this about myself. It would be easy for me to say this about somebody else. For me to, basically talk shit about other people. Yeah, this guy, he does this to me, he does that to me. But I'm explaining how I was the terrible friend to somebody else. And this doesn't have to be through some physical bullying like it was with me and this kid, Alex. It can be other ways. Maybe a friend of yours tries to confide in you, or you try to confide in them about the struggles you're going through, maybe with school, maybe with family stuff, maybe with, bullying, yeah. And you just kind of pat them on the back, give them some reassurance, but you don't check in on them again. And your reasoning may be that, oh, well, my life is busy, I have stuff to do, I can't be this guy's babysitter. But you need to understand that a person like that who is suffering doesn't just want a condolence at once that, oh yeah, you'll be fine. It needs to be constantly reassured, told that things are good, maybe given some actual help. Whereas if you just kind of half-ass it, then it's not going to be worth anything. The same way that maybe if you have a friend who gets jokingly or deliberately insulted in a group setting, and you laugh along with them awkwardly because, you don't want to bring down the mood, but you can clearly see that the joke got to them. Now, instead of, telling the person who said the joke that, dude, that's not cool, you keep quiet. You stay silent, like I did. That pretty much speaks volumes of how much of a friend you truly are. Because the worst part about this is that it trickles down. If you really are the type of person who wouldn't defend their friend when they're insulted or when they're struggling, then you probably won't be the type of person to defend your own wife when they're going through a similar situation. You won't be the type of person to defend your own son, your own daughter, when they are struggling. Because it's a trickle down, like I said. And imagine that, you're not able to actually stand up and defend the people you care about. Because of what? Because of fear? Because of cowardice? Like, I'm raising my hand. The reason I didn't help my friend all those years ago was because of fear and cowardice. And I've tried my best to break free from that, to live up to a higher standard. And I hope that you do as well. Because I don't know about you, but the idea of not being able to defend my wife or my children sickens me. So I just want you to know that stand up for the people you care about. Stand up for the things you care about. Because if you do care about them, that shouldn't be an exception. It should be the standard. And I know that it's hard because you may think of a bunch of reasons why you shouldn't do this. Just let it happen. I disagree. I believe if you have the power to stop it, to stand up for it, to step in any way, then you should. I remember I had a quote that it's like, the reason evil is so prevalent in the world isn't caused by the people who did those evil things. It's by the people around them that were complicit in it, that stayed silent. That's where the true evil comes from. Anyway, that was very heavy. I'm sorry to bring this down, but I just wanted to let this be known to you, to the world. And if you want to support me, you want to support this movement of guys that are trying to be better socially, better mentally, then subscribe so we can do this together. All right. Remember, take action, learn from failure. See ya.